Yo, what's up guys? So in this video, I'm going to share with you 5 tips on making your double lift better. As we all know, the double lift is one of the oldest moves in history. It's also one of the moves we use the most in card magic, so why not make the double lift as good as you can possibly get it to be? If you guys are getting value from these videos, consider subscribing to the channel so you don't miss anything. The first tip that I have for you is just relax. And what I mean by that is you need to bevel the deck for a good double lift. And you can do that by simply relaxing your hand. You notice when I do that, the deck sort of spreads and sort of dips down and sort of falls into my outstretched fingers as I sort of extend them like this. And all I'm doing here is just relaxing my hand, sort of dipping down like this, and just letting those cards fall into my hand, thus giving the deck that nice bevel that you need for this double lift. The reason for the bevel in the deck is because that's going to make it a lot easier for you to get a purchase on 2 cards from the side here, as opposed from the deck being totally straight on. It's a lot harder to get 2 cards that way. So with a nice bevel, you can see it makes it a lot easier to get 2 cards that way. The more you bevel the deck, the easier this actually becomes, and what you want to do is take the ball of your thumb here and sort of squeeze down on the top card. And that's going to allow you to just get 2 cards very easily from the side like this. It happens almost automatically anyway. Okay, so once again, you're here, you can do that nice dipping down action to bevel the deck. Just relax the hand, squeeze down with the ball of your thumb right there on that white border on that top card, and it happens almost automatically. You use the side of your index finger here, just lift up on 2 cards there, just like this. There is a certain feel to it, but the more you practice it and the more you do this, the more you can get the hang of it and get that feel for it. The second tip that I have for you is using a light touch with this double lift. Once you do get the 2 cards, you don't need to sit there and really grip the cards tightly and hold on to it all the way down like this, like you see a bunch of people doing. Well, that was a triple. What you want to do is just use a very light touch as if you would for just 1 card, and it just looks very natural, and it feels natural because a card is a lightweight object and you don't need to have a death grip on it and carry it down the whole way down. Just simply let it drop like this. So just use 1 card at first and get used to how that feels like. Just simply do this and just let it drop off of your fingertips just like this, and before you know, you'll be doing that with 2 cards just like that. The third tip that I have for you is uniformity of action. And what I mean by that is the way in which you show 1 card has to match the way you do a double turnover. Okay, so you can see here, if I turn a card over like this, you can see that I'm pushing it over with my thumb. It's just a simple, elegant way to turn a card over. And so if you do something crazy like this, you know, one of those flashy things to show 1 card, or do something like this, you want to match that with your double lift. And so the easiest way and the most simple way to show 1 card always should look the same as your double lift. Okay, so that's why we're practicing our pushover double lift here, so we can match this simple action of turning over 1 card. Now with this technique I'm showing you, you can pretend to do a pushover, right? So back from the top, you get your relaxed beveled position, squeeze down with the ball of your thumb like we talked about, get your 2 cards. Now look at this. You can use your thumb here to pretend like you're pushing over those cards right off the top, and just make that thumb follow through with the card, and it looks like you're doing a double turnover, or a turnover of 1 card. So keep your thumb on top of this card the whole way through as it's being pushed over, and it really looks like you're pushing over just 1 card that way. So the fourth tip that I have for you is to just make it easier for yourself. And here's what I mean. So when you get your double lift like this, you can see that I'm not holding any brakes, and I'm not doing any in-jogging here. The card just falls flat onto the deck with that light touch of the just letting it drop on the deck. So the way to turn it back over is like this. Since cards have a natural bow anyway, you can kind of see it here a little bit. But if you take your thumb, the ball of your thumb there, just sort of squeeze down right here, it's a lot easier to pick up on those 2 cards because of that natural bow there. If you want to, go ahead and give the deck a little bit of a bevel or a bend like this just to make it extra easy for yourself, okay? So once again, we're here, we get our double lift, and now you can really see that curve in the cards. So once you squeeze right there, it's a lot easier just to grab those 2 cards because of that natural bend there. The 5th and the final tip that I have for you on this technique is to practice it every day, multiple times a day. I mean, every time you perform card magic, you do a double lift anyway, and that's not enough practice. You need to stay sharp on this double lift technique to make it look as deceptive as possible. You can never be too good at this double lift, and when I say practice daily, I mean that. Okay, so you'll reach a point where you think you might be really good at it and you don't have to practice anymore, but that's false. That's only going to hurt your technique. You want to consistently stay sharp at this technique by practicing every single day at this. Here's a bonus tip. The main thing you need to realize about this double lift is that you want to make it look natural. If you're sitting here doing something like this, hold on a second. Yep. Hold on. Okay, here we go. That's going to be kind of awkward. Okay, so you want to make your double lift look as natural as turning over just 1 card, or as close to it as you can get. It's not going to look that perfect, obviously, but you want to practice it enough to where it can look almost exactly like that.